Have you ever imagined having the raw power of a massive data center just sitting right there on your desk? Well, that future isn't science fiction anymore. So let's dive into this, because a completely new class of hardware is about to change, well, pretty much everything for anyone working in AI.
We're at one of those moments. A huge technological shift. I'm talking as big as the change from giant mainframe computers to personal computers back in the 80s. What used to take up a whole room and belong only to massive companies is now being shrunk down into a little box that can literally fit under your monitor. This isn't just a small upgrade. It's a full-on revolution in who gets to access this kind of power.
So what's the secret sauce here? What kind of technological magic is making this huge leap forward possible? What exactly turns a desktop machine into a personal AI supercomputer? Okay, let's pop the hood and take a look. The blueprint, the master plan for this whole new category of machine, it comes from NVIDIA. And they're calling it the DGX Spark. But here's the thing. This isn't just one single product. It's the reference design. It's the heart of an entire ecosystem of new computers, all built around one amazing piece of silicon. And at the very center of it all is this, the Grace Blackwell Superchip, or GB10 for short. This thing is the engine. It literally fuses a CPU and a GPU together into one package. And get this, they share a massive 128 gigabyte pool of memory. By putting them so close together, you get rid of all the old bottlenecks. And that is the key to its mind-blowing performance for AI. So what does all that tech actually let you do? Well, we're talking about roughly 1 petaflop of performance. Now, to put that in real-world terms, it means you can run, train, and tweak enormous AI models. We're talking models with anywhere from 70 to 200 times billion parameters, right there on your own machine, locally, privately, securely. That is an absolute game changer. It means a single researcher or a small creative studio can now take on projects that, until now, you'd need a massive cloud computing budget for.
But here's where it gets really interesting. NVIDIA isn't trying to build this future all by themselves. Nope. They created the blueprint, and now all the biggest names in the computer world are jumping in to build their own versions. An entire ecosystem is springing to life.
And just look at this list. This shows you the scale of what's happening. This isn't some niche little product. You've got Asus, Dell, HP, Lenovo, MSI, Gigabyte, and Acer. They're all in. Every single one of them is taking that core GB10 superchip and building their own unique machine around it.
So here's a quick cheat sheet of who's doing what. You can already see the different flavors emerging. NVIDIA, of course, has its own reference model. But then you've got Asus, and they're coming in hot with a super aggressive price and a very different white design. Dell is sticking to its guns with a classic black box look, but tweaking the firmware. And Lenovo is aiming straight for the big corporate customers. The engine is the same, but the cars they're putting it in are all different.
Okay, so if the core performance is pretty much the same across the board, how do you actually choose one? Well, it's going to come down to the details, the design, the little extra features, and let's be real, the price. These small differences can actually make a big difference depending on what you're going to use it for.
Let's start with just the look and feel. On the left, you've got NVIDIA's DGX Spark. It's got this premium metallic finish. It's the reference design. And then on the right, the Asus Ascent GX10 has a totally different vibe, right? It's a clean, white plastic case. So right off the bat, you've got a choice between that classic, high-end look and something a bit more modern and minimalist.
And check this out. This is a perfect example of a small difference that could be a huge deal. Most of the base models are focused on your standard wired connections, but MSI's Edge Expert model is clearly going after people who need the latest and greatest in wireless. They're adding Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.3. For some users, that's not a small tweak, that's the deciding factor. Okay, now for the big one, money. This chart lays out the pricing for the models we know the most about so far. And look at Asus. They're really being aggressive, sneaking in just under that $3,000 mark. NVIDIA's own model is right there with them, while Dell's is looking to be a bit more expensive, probably because of their custom cooling and software. You can see the competition is going to be absolutely fierce.
All right, let's zoom out for a second. Let's pull back from the specific products and just think about the big picture here. Because the release of this whole ecosystem, it's not just about some new computers coming out. It's about what happens when this incredible level of AI power becomes available to, well, to everyone.
So, when can you actually get one?
The rollout is going to start in late 2025. Lenovo's targeting the third quarter for its enterprise model, and then the first wave from NVIDIA, Dell, and the others should start shipping in the last part of the year. By early 2026, we expect to see them widely available from pretty much everyone. The countdown has begun.
You know, this quote right here, it just perfectly captures what this is all about. For years, if you wanted to do serious AI work, you were chained to the cloud, dealing with all the costs and the delays. The DGX Spark ecosystem is fundamentally about breaking those chains. It's about democratizing power, putting it right into the hands of creators, and just hitting the accelerator on innovation for everybody.
And that really is the ultimate question, isn't it? When the barrier to entry for world-class AI development is no longer a data center, but a simple box that sits on your desk, the possibilities just become infinite. What problems are we going to solve? What kind of art is going to be made? What new discoveries are right around the corner? The tools are almost here. The rest? Well, the rest is up to you.